What up, YouTubers? We about to work on this car. We about to make it faster. You always need a hammer for a project. Not just one, but two. We got to tune this baby up and get it ready for Sophia tomorrow night at Casey Raceway. It's Thursday night in the shop. I don't know where Randall is. He's supposed to be here helping get Cooper's car ready for tomorrow night, Casey Raceway. Since it ain't his weekend, maybe he's ditching out on me. I don't know yet. Supposedly he's out buying us a new truck so we can go to the Tulsa Shootout and take my stock car, which is on the lift still from last year, but we might take it to Bristol Motor Speedway. Maybe you guys can follow along if they have that super stock shootout, whatever they're going to do down there. But we got to beat out a little bit of carnage. It looks like Sophia might have got into somebody. Well, obviously if it's on the left side, more than likely somebody got into her. Might have used her like a little bit of a rub rail and bounced off over and got her going. Got a shout out to my man John Lee right here, High Flying Photos. But follow along. Check this out. We're gonna get her done. Well, I guess first things first, I gotta take my buddy John Lee off of here. Pop out these Zeus fasteners, makes it a little easier to get to some stuff. Main reason why I'm pulling this off is because I want to beat out that carnage right there. And then maybe do a little inspection on what's going on inside here, but we're going to try to beat that out in a minute. Pick you out of the way. I'm going to set these right here on my box of turbo towels. You can get these here turbo towels, heavy duty cleaning wipes from probably an O'Reilly near you. I think these came from Lewisburg, O'Reilly. It's always nice to have a turbo towel ready, fast and easy, convenient to, you know, clean your hands if you need to. Or possibly clean the spot where we're going to do a little bit of work here. And pull this drain plug out that I'm sure Randy's got on there extremely too tight. That's pretty typical for him. He's kind of like Mighty Mouse. Don't tell him I said that. He might take offense. He likes going by the nickname Majete. Oh yeah, did you hear it almost break? It almost broke. Hey, this right here is a 10mm wrench. One of the hardest tools to find in people's shops. 10mm socket, 10mm wrench, they go disappearing. We're gonna pull this plug right here. This right here is a drain plug, and we're gonna let some oil out of this baby. Oh yeah, look how clean that is. Man, I better put that plug back in there. Save that. Trick. Psych. Actually, what we'll do with this here, I've done it before, is I took that oil straight out and put it in my generator. But I got a new generator now. Special thanks to Little Treasures down there by B.M.E, my friend and machinist. He hooked me up with a real nice, quiet Ryobi. I think that thing's a Ryobi. I think it's a Home Depot special. But we're going to put some fresh oil in this because she's been running her kind of hard. Finally making some good laps. I need to make me a tool for that. So I seen Micah's dad, Justin. He's got a custom-made tool for removing these oil drain fill caps. I think I'm about to make me one. His has like two little bars and a screwdriver that goes in there and it twists and pops it on and off, but I think he mentioned maybe I could get me a piece of round metal and drill a couple holes in it that'll fit that. I think that'd be pretty sweet. I might have to do that. After we get done changing this oil, we might actually work on that. We mentioned Dennis Scott in our last video. He's the one who provides me with my racing oil and kind of helps me stay on track with these here New World Formula Briggs engines, but he recommended this Thor oil. It's a medium cycle, 4-cycle medium weight. It's what we run in all these cars. But for whatever reason, COVID or something had slowed down the oil process. I don't know if he was the guy who manufactured the Thor oil, if he wasn't able to get the right materials or what. So I'm real nervous when I run out of that gallon of oil what we're going to run next. So if you guys got any ideas or any tips, maybe plug that in the comments down below and let us know what type of oil you run in your New World Formula engines or your Briggs engines, so that way we can maybe look at some possibilities of some new oils. There's a synthetic oil. Everybody I've talked to in the past when it runs motorcycles and lawnmower type stuff, they really like that AMS oil. It's kind of pricey, I think, but it might be worth it. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Right now I'm just kind of snugging that up, not too tight. I don't want to bust the block. The block is, you know, that plug is like a national pipe thread, and when you tighten it up, it just gets tighter and tighter because it gets a little bit, it tapers and whatever, and it can actually split your block. So you don't ever want to over tighten that bolt. I'm being lazy. I'm sitting down, taking it easy. I worked pretty hard today. But I told Randy and them, if we ain't loaded and ready to go on Thursday nights on Friday, I really don't want to go. Because it's just too much of a hassle not knowing when I'm going to get off work. So I work for a service company, and sometimes you get stuck on a project, you can't get a break away. Might need to get something to blow that out with. I'll be right back. Shake and bake. Got this here brake clean. Like to blow that funnel out. I don't want to get any contaminants in my oil if I don't have to. A lot of guys, they like to run a little low on oil to help create a little bit of power, but I'm trying to save my piece. I don't know that it hurts it to run a little more or a little less. Typically in engines, you don't want to run more oil because it can really heat up and cause a lot of power breakdown by making the crankshaft slosh more oil and whatnot. But I think they usually run 14 ounces in these new oil formulas, but the guy I purchased this car from, he recommended me go ahead and just run 16 just to be on the safe side. It's not too much, definitely. That right there is 12. Somebody clean my mark off. We'll blame that on Randy since he ain't here. That there, we were right there almost at 16. Let's set that up there and level her up, and we're going to remark it. That way we can see it next time. 16 ounces. Right on the line. Speaking of lines, hopefully tomorrow night I won't be on time because I don't like to wait in line. I always joke around and say it, but it's true, man. If I show up late, I'm in a hurry, and I'm more than likely going to get her done. I ain't going to have time to waste or mess around and forget something. Like last week, I thought I left the oil cleaner at home for the M90 car, but I actually put it in the trailer so it could dry in the trailer. So that's likely what I'll do tonight on her cars. I'll clean her air cleaner and put it in the trailer so it don't get left behind. Like Chief, he always whines and cries. I think it's because I leave him behind. I normally don't take him to the races. He's too high maintenance. Same deal goes to the oil cap. You don't want to get it too awful tight, but you want to get it started straight, because if you don't get it started straight, this stuff's plastic and it can be a jacked up ordeal if you don't get it to go in there right. There we go. We got it good and tight. Now, I always like to torque this with my German. So a lot of people don't know this. I'm actually half Vietnamese and half German. So that's why my last name's NGO. It's got some Vietnamese in it. Some Vietnamese. Anyway, so I always like to do the German torque on these, and it's good and tight. Rolling right along. Okay, now we got that good and tight. Did you catch that good and tight? That's German, in case you didn't know, like good and tight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and beat out this here carnage we got. I gotta probably straighten that up a little bit too, so that way it'll be a little bit more straight. Now this here, you don't have to torque this, so you don't have to go You just try to eyeball that and get it straight as you can. So when you go back on there, it won't stick out. And then we're gonna go over here to the, what do they call that, the swag deal. No, it ain't the swag method. I don't know what they call this method actually. The beater out method maybe. Well, the fun stuff. You gotta beat out equals carnage. Good idea is to clean the spot where you're about to get her done. Maybe even if you want to sacrifice or save your paint, lay something down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Already looking beautiful. You can tell it's solid when it makes that good noise. You know, hollow. Nice. Now we'll be able to put that baby back on there in a minute. But I think what I better do is go ahead and pull her clutch off. Before I get that far, I'm gonna pull her jack shaft off and check the bearings in her jack shaft, and I gotta check the gap and the thickness of her clutch. I'm gonna have to rebuild her clutch tonight. So I gotta grab some more tools and we'll pull that clutch off, take a look at it. Probably wouldn't hurt me. I'll go ahead and pull and clean her chain too. So stick with me. I gotta go grab some wax for the chain and some more tools out of the race trailer for the clutch, and I'll pull that clutch off, show you what we do on that clutch. All right, well, I don't know what happened to the bully, the real bully. He ain't helping me no more. He wanted to drive the car and he wanted to prove to Grace that he was the real driver. But that bully's gone, but we're taking a look at this bully. This right here, this bully clutch. So I like to pull this off every week and just spin her a little bit and check the bearings and everything and make sure everything's gyrating like it's supposed to gyrate. One of the most important key factors on these clutches, especially since my daughter insists to run a 2-disc instead of a 3-disc. See, she heard that Micah runs a 3-disc and he's faster. But she thinks the 3-disc is heavier and it takes more power, so she wants to run a 2-disc. So maybe she can keep up or catch up or maybe even one day pass. So she better step on the gas pretty quick because I don't think Micah's going to be in this class much longer. I think he's just going to move up to restrictor and roll on out. So I need to check what they call the air gap, I guess, and that's the thickness of the gap. Ooh, she's tight. It won't go. And that's 42 thousandths. So I think recommendation, news like 30 to 35. And good is 40 to 65. I think you can get your best wear out of it. So let's double check here and see where we're at. It's 30. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's 16 and 18. She won't go, so she's good to go for another round. So like I say, she can start getting up there a little past 45, 50. Really need to take a good look at it. When you get up around 60, 65, it's time to rebuild it and put new clutches in it or mic your plates and then see where you're at. But another thing I like to do is take a look at these gears, make sure they're nice and beautiful. But I just had this off last week actually. It was in the video, Saturday night at Sweet Springs. I didn't know Sophia was gonna get to race. So I had a different gear on there from Port City and from when another young man drove her car. So I had to get her back to where she needs to be at on her gear ratio. And when I had it apart, I rebuilt it the track so it went real good and smooth. But I still like to pull it off, double check it. And while I got it off, I'm gonna go ahead and jerk the chain off of this hot rod because I hadn't had a chance to really clean her chain. So I'm gonna pull her chain off, I'm gonna throw it in this pan, maybe add a little bit of cleaner. I got some real high dollar cleaner that really gets the job done. I wanna share that with you guys. It ignites really easy. Believe me, I've been burned from it, so I understand the power of gasoline. Let's get her done. So I'm gonna take this here chain, I'm gonna drop it here in this here doggy dish. It ain't Chief's dish. This one's special. His dish is special too, but you know the deal. And I'm gonna get this here high dollar gasoline there. Just try to cover the chain so that way whatever dirt's on there, it'll kind of help dissolve it off of there. I do this two or three different times. Some say that old gasoline makes good weed killer, but I ain't recommending that. Have the freaking EPA over here on my back. So this fuel right here, you can just pour back in your lawnmower and run it probably. I slosh that around a little bit, make sure I get that chain good and clean. Uh-oh. What's going on here? I think I'm getting a message. Oh, be daggum, it's Frank. It's Frank Heflin, Kyle Heflin's dad. Oh, looky there. It says the registration for the Tulsa Shootout is complete. It says 37th Annual Lucas Oil Tulsa Shootout, Kyle Heflin. His date of birth says he's 10 years old. Junior sprints in 90. Looks like we're ready to get her done, paid up, and submitted. If you ain't submitted a Tulsa registration yet, Tulsa Shootout, you better get her done, because we're going to get her done, son. If you ain't first, you're last. Hopefully we won't be last. You know, we got pretty blessed with the win the other night. Oh, chain's cleaning up nice. This chain right here, so I got Sophia on a 219 chain. This is a 219 chain. I got it from Dennis Scott over at Scott Racing Engines. Like I said, he really helps us out a lot on these junior sprints. He helps a lot of go-karters out too, I think. Really good dude. Happy to do business with him. Happy to be partnered up with him. And I can see us having a long future together when it comes to us running these junior sprints. But I'm gonna finish cleaning this up and blow it off with a little bit of air. And I'm going to show you guys how we wax it up and put it all back together. I'm going to throw this back on the car, the jack shaft. Jack shaft's in really good shape. Bearings are good. I knew they would be, you know, because they're pretty new. But I always like to double check it, make sure everything's good and tight, and there ain't nothing funky going on. You know what I mean? No funky business. We want to win. Yeah. All right. Back, boys and girls, with a little bit of chain wax in my chain. Does the chain hang low? Does it wobble to the flow? No, really, we want this thing to roll smooth. Smooth, like it goes around my neck. See, that's the real chain right there. Hey, just playing. No, for real. We really want this thing to roll out really smooth. We don't want to lose any horsepower. You know, these cars are already limited on horsepower, unlike that Brian Brown's sprint car. Sponsored by Casey's, unlike us. Yet. Sophia said, Brian Brown, we're coming for you. We're going to lap you, because we use this here paraffin wax, chain wax. Normally I soak this in a paraffin wax base deal, but this here's got paraffin in it. It's just kind of a quick, easy method I can do. A lot of times I'll spray it on that baby right there, or I'll rub it on there with a little bit of rag. But it's real easy to use. Kind of like hairspray. I know a little bit about hairspray, if you can't tell. I got a lot of that. Need me a haircut, honestly. Ain't had a haircut since COVID. Man, speaking of COVID, hey, you prayer warriors out there, pray for Jonathan Davenport, Superman. Unbelievable, Superman come down with COVID, and I heard he ain't gonna be racing this weekend. So JD, we're praying for you, bud. Gotta get you back out there. I think you're in the points hunt still, ain't you? I like to overdo the wax. I really like it on there. Like I said, we're limited on horsepower. This right here ain't a Dennis Scott racing engine it's on this car, and it's not a MCR either. So it's down on power a little bit, so we're gonna make sure she, oh, look at that, look at that. Go really fast, you can see it, woo! Yeah, I'm gonna slap this baby on there, maybe put you in a time lapse so you can follow along. I'm gonna put her jack shaft back on there and her bully clutch. And speaking of bullies, where's my bully at? Chief! I don't know where my helper's at. He's like them other drivers, thinks he can just lay around, sleep all the time, you know what I mean? Don't put in any work and expects to show up and just go win, you know? I know a lot of those people like that just, you know, want everybody else to do everything for them. But if you want to win, they say, like we talked about in the other videos, the race is won in the shop. So you got to be in the shop. You got to be working on your stuff. You got to get her all nice and lubed up so she flows real nice and smooth. Sophia, you ain't got no excuses, girl. You better stand on it and get her done if you're watching this. because this is what I'm doing. Getting your stuff ready to go. Let's go. Shake and bake. Got Sophia's air cleaner all cleaned up, ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna slap this baby back on there. We was able to show you kind of how we maintenance her engine a little bit. Showed you how we changed the oil. I'm probably gonna pull the plug out and double check it. Got her clutch verified with the feeler gauges. Verified she's ready to rock and roll for tomorrow night. Hopefully she's able to show up and get her done. I was kind of happy to announce Kyle Heflin's gonna be running the N90 car at the Tulsa Shootout this year. He's 10 years old, like I said earlier. Everybody knows that, but he can race that race this year, next year, and possibly even the next year after that, because I think you run it to your 12. But like I said, I'm gonna get this put back on her car. I got a few more things I'm doing it. Then I'm gonna shut the video down for tonight because I really got a lot of stuff I gotta get done. I gotta get Cooper's car in here and get it ready to rock and roll for tomorrow. I'm gonna probably throw his car up on the scales and do some tuning and adjusting on it so he can start to get his quarter entry in a little bit better and get through the middle a little bit quicker, because he's really looking to get her done. He wants to drive that sucker to the front and win a race this year. So we'll see if the rookie can get it done or not. Follow us tomorrow night to KC Raceway and root for Cooper as he drives the COOP car, and hopefully, like I said, Sophia will be in the N60. And as always, we got Andres in the 06 restricted. See you there tomorrow night. And Michael Becker's still the points leader. Let's pull for him. All he's got to do is stay in front of that #1 car, I think. I'm not sure who drives that car, but it's a white #1. So I think he's in second, and Michael Becker's in first. See you there, or be square.